It's about good.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday and it's 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I tell you, we've got a great show lined up for you guys today. My friend and my brother, repeat guest, he's been on the show many times before, and he's always bringing us some great information. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he has for us on today. So let me get my announcements out the way, my shout out the way, so we can get right to him, so we can give him plenty of time in order for him to tell us what's going on. All right, the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And out of the 30 plus years that we have been traveling together, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. I tell you, the thing about having a mentor, it is someone that is so valuable in your life, you can't even put a price tag on it. Someone that can help you in the good times and the bad times, situations and circumstances that come up. Mentors can help you navigate through these circumstances. So I always talk about mentors because I want you to get a mentor. Someone that you can trust, someone you can count on, someone that can be there for you. And when you get one, then I encourage you to get a show so you can shout your mentor out. All right. I want to invite you guys to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, the first thing I want you to notice is that you can watch the show right there on the website by clicking on the Watch Live button right there on the website. You'll be able to see every single live broadcast in real time. So definitely go over to the website. You can't get lost, and click on live, and you'll be able to see the entire show. The next thing I want you to notice is that I have some advertisers. I have several advertisers here that I'm going to go through now. RRJ Web. If you are interested in getting your broken website fixed or have a website built, RRJ Web can help you. Now, the good thing about all of these banners on my website, you can click on any one of them and they will take you directly to their website. So if you've got a broken website and everybody told you, oh no, it can't be fixed, go to RRJ Web. He'll straighten it out for you. The second one I want to talk about is Sir Synergy. If you have a home or business that you're interested in putting solar panels on or making it more energy efficient, you definitely want to reach out to Sir Synergy. They can help you do an evaluation on your home and help you save money on your energy bills. Now, everybody keeps saying, oh, you ain't going to save that much money, but some money saved is better than no money saved. So definitely reach out to Sir Synergy. They got a lot of government funds out there that's helping people right now become more energy efficient. Port Again Sam, he's bringing in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. If you are a person that likes fine wine and cognac, you definitely want to reach out to Port Again Sam. Port Again Sam can help you find your new favorite wine. All you got to do is call him up, click on the banner, make an appointment for a wine tasting, and you'll be well on your way. The holiday season is here, and I tell you, he's got a new inventory in. You don't want to miss out. Check out Pour It Again Sam. And last but not least, I want to talk about the Prince Hunter Financial Group. Now, the Prince Hunter Financial Group, if you've heard about the stock market or the Forex market and you would like to learn more about it, you don't know how to get into it, this is how you get into it. Reach out to the Prince Hunter Financial Group. Tell them you heard it right here on the Ask Dr. Ron show, and you will get 4 free classes. 4 free classes. Just call them up and say, hey, I want to learn, and I need my 4 free classes to figure out what I need to learn. That's how you do it. Go right over there, click on the banner, call him up and say, hey, I am ready to start my classes. Okay? I want to give a quick shout out. We got Takesha Howard, who's tuning in with us today. She's tuned in. If you don't know about Takesha Howard, you better ask somebody. She is somebody you need to know. Like I started out saying in the very beginning, my guest has been on the show many times before, and he always brings us such powerful information on what's going on in the housing community. And I know today he has been overwhelmed because today was a deadline for an end of a program that he had been working diligently on for the last 6 months to a year. And I know he's going to give us up to date and try and give us some hope. I mean, I was talking to him the other day, and he was telling me, man, we got a crisis coming. And I was like, oh, man, save it for the show. Welcome back, Robert Saunders.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ron, my good friend and brother. And if there's any program that's going on, he's one to try to find out what it is, what it's about to get it to you. And then he gave a shout out. He said, it's somebody that I should know. Then I'm going to know you. I'm going to know you. I'm going to meet you. He says, I like meeting people that I should know.
Yeah.
We have been very busy. I was going all the way up until the time that he had to call me, and he was trying to get a hold of me, and I'm on the phone on the other line, and all this. This has been going, been real crazy over here the last few weeks because of the end of the mortgage assistance grant fund. However, it has helped and benefited a lot of people. Just to let you know, there have been millions and millions that have been paid out to the state, and they're still going. They're still going for everyone that get your applications in before 11:59 tonight. You will still have up until November 30th to receive your housing counseling certificates if you're not working with legal aid or if you're not working with your mortgage services. I don't know how many people of you that are listening. This program benefits homeowners who are struggling with their mortgage, and it happened as a result of COVID. You still have some time. But at 11:59, they're going to cut off the application process. And if you can get your application in before 11:59, it can be reviewed and you can receive counseling up until November 30th. There are 4 things you're going to need to get to the website. You just go into ihda.ilhaf in your search engines, and you'll know you're in the right place when you see where it says apply now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Answer the questionnaire, and before you do it, make sure you're at a computer or have a device where you can take a picture and get your identification, your ID, driver's license, get your most recent, and I'm going to emphasize most recent mortgage statement. That would be for November. You're going to need that. You're going to need your proof of income, your most recent pay stub, and you're going to need a utility bill or your mortgage insurance policy to show proof of residency or a water bill, something like that. Those documents is what you need to apply. If it asks for a housing counseling certificate and you have not seen a counselor, then you check that you don't have it. You still can complete your application. If you
Mm-hmm.
look down at the screen, you see my email.
Mm-hmm.
The name of my agency is South Suburban Housing Center. In order to be seen by a counselor, you have to complete the intake form. The intake can be found at South Suburban Housing Center.org or .org. When you do that, follow the prompts, answer the questionnaire, and you're going to be emailed an intake form, and you need to complete that form. Pay close attention to pages 6 and 7. See my fingers. I made it easy. 6 and 7. When you do, and you need to submit the documents that have the asterisk. If you got any questions, you can email me or you can call me. My number is 773-892. I'm sorry, no, I'm not gonna give you that number. I'm gonna give you the Ron. They've been blowing me up, Ron. Seven zero
Yeah.
eight 957-674. Extension 107. 708-957-4674. Extension 107. I'm sitting in my office right now. Do not call me while I'm on the show. Do not call me while I'm after the
Please
show
don't.
because I'm usually out of here at 5. But
Yeah.
if you
Please
do,
don't.
you can call me. It'll go to voicemail though. But I
Yeah.
am sitting right here by my phone. Um, the other thing that I wanted to say when this program is over, and I want our listeners to know that we're facing a crisis. We were never really out of the crisis to begin with. When I've
Mm-hmm.
been working with Dr. Ron, and he's had me on the show numerous times, he has literally did what he could do to inform people how to address things about their home, how to get money, and he's one that he's going to get that cheddar if he can. I'm going to tell you, he's going to get it. He ain't no joke. He's going to get it. Uh, and he's been on it, on top of it. But there are a lot of you that haven't. Many
Right.
of you haven't. And a lot of you that missed out. Some of you even lost your home because you couldn't follow through,
Right.
follow up. You didn't
Right.
provide documentation. You didn't do your homework. You didn't budget things properly. And you got yourself in a pickle. Now, this crisis is not something that just started. This thing has been going on, listen, people, for over 15 years. It has went and moved into cycles. Cycles. First of all, we had the crash. Then after the crash, we had the mortgage crisis. The
Yep.
the um, the securitization of mortgages, which led to this. And guess who it affected the most? It affected us the
People of
most.
color. Yep.
People of color. We have done what we could to help our own. And I applaud Dr. Ron because Dr. Ron has not only had myself, but he's had others, people on this show to give information. You ought to hit, when they got a like button or something, you ought to hit a like button. You ought to get on your phones and let people know about what it is that he's doing, because he's not a novice to this. He's been doing this for years, and he has not quit, even when he probably wanted to throw his hands and give up sometimes. But I applaud him for that. Now, I just told you it went into cycles. Now we're about to go into another cycle. And one thing I can tell you, I've talked to Dr. Ron about these cycles before, and he would tell you I've been pretty much dead on it.
Right.
I've been pretty much dead on it. And the reason why is because I've always been on the front lines where things are going on. I work for servicers that service mortgages that they originated. I did that for 14 years. I've been in housing counseling for 13 years, and and in doing this, I've been able to observe cycles. The next
Right.
cycle that we're facing. Uh, One of the things, wait a minute. One of the things that we were able to address is the hardest hit addressed helped a lot of people out
Yes.
in the last
Yes.
cycle during the foreclosure crisis.
Yes.
Many thanks to our former president, um, Barack Obama.
Right.
We can thank him because it was his executive order that he signed that helped save millions of people's homes across the country,
Right.
and tens of thousands in the state of Illinois.
Right.
With this program, it's been extended. It's been a 2-year program. It was extended by our governor.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to get all of this money off of the table, and I'm afraid that it'll be funded, I believe, all the way going into the next year, past the next year, in the
Mm-hmm.
2025, to help clear up the arrearages and stuff across the board. You can cut it off, but it's still going to roll on, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So
Now, let
we'll.
me ask you a question because you're moving kind of fast. All
Oh, I
right. So,
got to. A lot of information.
yeah, I know. So, programs like the hardest hit, do you foresee them coming back or no? Or in some shape or form like the hardest hit?
Right now, there's nothing. There's no information out there that where I could see it coming back.
Gotcha.
And the reason why is because we got another crisis
Right.
that's here that has taken the forefront. That's
Okay.
another. That's another pro. That's another show by itself. The other
Right.
crisis,
Right.
um,
So,
and
the
I don't see
COVID
it.
money that you mentioned, that the deadline is today, but if you get it in between now and midnight, your application, you still will try and attempt to help them get processed. So the COVID money literally is, if they don't use it all, will it be recycled into something else? Or, because I'm sure there's people that say, oh, I didn't know, so will it be something else that'll roll into?
Um, the COVID money, if it's recycled, it will probably be recycled to help with the current crisis that we're dealing with right now.
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't hold it at face value, but they're already talking
Mm-hmm.
about it. They did it with the rental money.
Right.
They're already discussing that. If you leave millions of dollars on the table, it's going to go back to the U.S. Treasury. When it goes back
Right.
to the U.S. Treasury, it'll be reallocated. That will happen. Where
Right.
it's going to go, I don't know. I don't have enough zeros behind my paycheck to really know, but I believe it. I could believe it's going to. Well, actually, I'm pretty certain it's going to be reallocated somewhere. It's safe to say, and we know how that goes. Um, my biggest concern right now, Ron, is with this money going away, with the people. the homeowners that are left there that owe back taxes, that are behind in their mortgage, that are facing foreclosure, about to lose their homes through foreclosure sales, is what is it that the government and what is it that servicers, mortgage companies are going to do to offer assistance to those families that are left out there?
All right.
So, so when we look at the options on the front line,
Mm-hmm.
um, we have in Cook County an increase in our taxes, and it's a serious increase.
Man, stupid
Yeah,
increase.
yeah, they calling it the tax apocalypse. And the
Okay.
reason why it's a tax apocalypse is because you have people who are getting their taxes raised to the point to where it's literally pricing them, making their mortgages unaffordable to
Right.
them simply because of the tax increase. We've had marked increases of people who have had to pay two, three, $400 a month increases
Mm-hmm.
on their taxes, and they can't afford their mortgage payments. So they come to us and say, well, what is it that we can do? You go to the mortgage company. Some of you have 2, 3, 4, 5% interest rates. If you got a 2% interest rate, that means that you were in the other crisis that I was talking about. That means
Mm-hmm.
your loan was behind and you got modified into a
Right.
2% interest rate. That's what it means.
Right. Right.
So you can tell me that it wasn't, but I'm gonna tell you, nope. I'm about 80% certain that it was because
So
I
you
see a
know the
lot of these.
numbers. You know the
I know the
numbers.
numbers. I know the numbers. Now, look at this. Listen to this number. Now, you want to get your loan current. You try to go and do what you did before a few years ago. You says, "Oh, I'm going to work with my mortgage company, and my mortgage company is going to modify me." Oh, they'll
Mm-hmm.
be glad to modify you. Guess what? Your interest rate, the interest rates are 8% right now, and they are predicted to climb.
Yep.
So you're going to wind up paying an additional $300 or $400 again if you get modified. So now your payment increase by $600 or $700 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's that is what people are facing right now. And if you haven't faced it, you're about to face it. So you ask yourself, do they have something? Do they have something in mind to assist people with that? That answer, they're like this. They don't know. They don't know. There are discussions that's going on as far as what is going to happen. Um, what we do here at South Suburban, we have to have people just regroup. You got to look line for line on your items on your budget, and you literally got to cut back some of the things that you're doing. You may have to eat black eyed peas and go back to the other and smoke turkey meat or something. Uh,
Look, didn't they do
and
that in the Great
cornbread.
Depression? They were serving
Sure did.
spam at the line, the food line. You had to go down there and get you a spam sandwich.
Yes, sir. With all that
Yeah,
sodium and stuff. Yeah,
right.
you're gonna have to do
Now,
some things.
Takesha said, "Great information, Mr. Sanders. Keep going."
Yeah, thank you, Takesha. You are going to have to readdress your budget. This is something you should have been doing. We should have been doing anyway.
Right.
We should have been doing that. We should always look to redress our budget. You got to
But
start
most
doing what
people,
my mama used to
okay,
do. You got to start doing your hair
but
instead of spending. Go ahead, brother. I don't want to get
but
you
but but
save
you
me from
know,
getting in trouble
yeah,
with
I
these
know you
women.
finna
With the
talk about
women.
somebody, mama, but but even most black families are on a fixed income anyway. They don't have a lot of surplus. When you talk about trying to adjust a budget, they ain't got no room. They're eating peanut butter and jelly now. So, utility companies are getting increases. Gas company, it's wintertime in Chicago, gas bill going up. So, and now you talking about the tax situation. I remember in Inglewood and some of the South Side communities, they were having protests about you just taxed me out of my house. And that was at the last tax increase. And the increase is still going up. Man, my tax bill, man, almost tripled. And I was like, man, you got the wrong address. This can't be this house, you know? So, there's got to be some realistic solutions to be able to approach this situation. I mean, even though you say you got to go back to the drawing board and check out the numbers and see where we can squeeze a nickel out of a dime, it's just, people on fixed income, senior citizens. You talk about, where they gonna find some money? People already working 2, 3, full-time jobs if they working, you know. So I mean, realistically, folks are in danger of losing their home, and then renting is not an option. Renting is not an option. So go ahead. I cut you off, but go ahead. I just saved you from talking about somebody's mama.
Now you know I wasn't gonna talk about nobody, mama, but look, but look, you're right. You're right. But there's more than one thing that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in times like these, you have many people that have become entrepreneurs because they
Yes.
had to. They created their own niche for their own wealth. So there's some things like we had a person that what they did, they went out and I know that this might sound a little crazy, but they went out and they started selling things on on YouTube and YouTube and not YouTube, eBay,
Mm-hmm.
eBay, and they did things at flea markets. They went out and picked stuff up and was reselling stuff and purchasing other like small items and selling it. And believe it or not, and working, and it was enough to where they're still in their places. Some of
Mm-hmm.
these people didn't have jobs and they had to do what they had to do to try to keep their house. You have
Right.
to be creative and try to come up with alternative sources. You got people that's I applaud Hispanics because they'll go and sell tamales out of a cooler, heat them up and put them in a cooler to keep them warm and roll outside with wheels on it and just roll through a
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood or a park and they'll sell them.
Yep.
You
That's
have to,
true.
and I'm not telling y'all to go sell tamales, but what I'm saying is you have got to be creative to create other streams of income instead of sitting on your hands whining and complaining.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Um, and if you are not disabled, some people who are disabled and can't do certain things, but also I know people who are disabled that actually work out of the home
Mm-hmm.
doing customer service work out of the
Right.
home. I know a person that they got this is Medicare or insurance open enrollment season.
Right.
I know somebody is working out of their house, taking calls, doing open enrollment, helping companies with open enrollment,
Right.
and making about 3 grand a month.
Mm-hmm.
With that by itself. So I'm just throwing it out there, like that. Will it be like this next month or 2 months or going in the first part of the year? I don't know. There are talks. They're trying to figure out certain things, moratoriums and such, but they're things that's on the table. Uh, Doing deferrals. Deferrals will leave a person's payment the same, except the arrearage will be rolled back into the principal balance of the loan, and the loan reset to show current, and the interest rate stay the same. But guess what? In order for that to work, you got to be working.
Right.
You got to be able to show sustainability. That's where housing counseling comes in. I don't care what situation that you're in or that a person is in, you need to get housing counseling. You need to see a counselor. And I'm sure that Dr. Ron can tell you that there is value in knowing a housing counselor, a good one,
Absolutely.
and working with a good agency. And the
Absolutely.
value is that we know the trends, we know the programs that are out there, we know how to work with the servicers, um, and in some cases, in many cases, we know how to work with the taxing authorities to have ideas to where we can work with you and help you to get your taxes um, down. So I can speak for myself. I can't speak for others, but I have worked in different phases and with different types of people, different types of lenders and investors, and have been very successful in working with them. Now, have I helped everybody? I can't tell you. If I told you yes, I'd be lying. I can't lie. I love the Lord too much, but I have not been able to help everybody.
Right.
But the biggest thing I can tell you, I help most people that have gotten involved and have gotten invested in their situation. So if you are a good listener, if you are willing uh, to do some things to help change your situation, you can overcome your hardship. I don't do all the work. I may do 80, not 80%. I may do 20% of the work, but I will lead you in the directions that you have to go that's based on your situation to
Yeah.
help you. If you can follow directions, most of the time you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And if you can't, if it won't work, I'll let you know that it won't, and I'll tell you why. And then we'll try something else.
Right. Now, let me just address what you just said a second ago. It is invaluable to have a housing counselor and organization behind you because they're the ones that are the professionals that can help you. So we may see some stuff on TV or see something on the internet, and those people are not vested in your communities or your neighborhoods. They might be somewhere else where what they're doing might work. But in this community, in our neighborhoods, you have to have a reliable organization that can help you with the lay of the land. Just like he's speaking of all of the tax being tripled and doubled and people having hardships coming their way that they're not even prepared for. And these are things that Robert and his organization are talking about now. They're already aware of what's coming down the road and what's happening, so they can help you prepare for what's about to happen. It's about to get worse. And like we were talking the other day, I mean, like there's no end in sight, really, because going back to previous conversations you and I were having, before COVID, there was a housing crisis that you were trying to help address and deal with. And then COVID came along and created a different type of crisis. Rental and owners ran into a buzzsaw that they weren't even ready for. And then you couldn't put them out because they couldn't afford to pay the rent because the courts wouldn't let you. So this is all fallout from a series of things that have taken us down the rabbit hole. Now, I remember you telling me a few times that your organization even went after the mortgage companies that were dealing in Harvey. Remember that? You were telling me
Hmm.
about that? Yep, your organization. Share that with the people for a second.
Well, what you're talking about, um, not just in Harvey, but um, Harvey, Dalton, other places. You're talking about the our fair housing department where they went after people cities that were Not cities. I'm sorry. Let me think for a
Mortgage
minute.
companies.
It would have been more. It would have been like um, not investors,
Mm-hmm.
investors like Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae.
Mm-hmm.
They were boarding up houses and in Harvey and places, um, and also in certain parts of Chicago, such as Inglewood, Roseland, Dalton, and leaving the REOs, the houses to fall apart, papers piling up, wires, cable wires laying on the ground, grass 3 feet high, um, people going in, settling, what they call it, squatting in the house. But
Mm-hmm.
when you go out to places like Evergreen Park, Orland Park, out in other areas, you wouldn't even know that those houses were vacant because they were putting draperies up, coming out, mowing the grass, picking up the papers and all this other stuff, and newspapers and the mail. You wouldn't know it was an REO. But when you go to Harvey, y'all know how it was. You had
How it
every
is. What
other
you mean
house, or
was?
how it is now. It's still like that now. Every
Right.
other house was vacant. You went to
Mm-hmm.
Inglewood. Oh, 3/4 of the block was vacant. Some houses had maybe two or three houses on the whole block on either
Mm-hmm.
side of the street that was literally vacant. And these houses were in disrepair. Some of them were falling apart. We were able to prove that. And Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and other and banks who let these properties go, they had to pay.
Mm-hmm.
That is how some of the funding that we have was able to be put back into the community through
Mm-hmm.
the mortgage distress assistance grants and so forth. So that's what we do on the fair housing side. When you were mentioning that, that was actually in the newspaper. It was in the Southtown Economist. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that you would see that in either I think it was February of last year,
Mm-hmm.
um, that it would have been in there. I don't know if you caught it or if you seen it,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Ron. You usually be up on stuff like that,
Yeah, you and I had
but
talked
you
about it.
know it
Yeah.
happened. But you know it happened,
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
there has been a change. The other thing was the appraisal side. You had homes that were being unfairly appraised in African American neighborhoods where you had the same house in Lincoln Park, Greystones in Lincoln Park versus Greystones in the Woodlawn and Washington Park neighborhood. Those houses were like $1 million, and you come over on the south side, it was like 300,000.
Right.
Talking about a disparity
Right.
in property values. So they got in trouble too.
Right.
Zillow and Redfin. Oh yeah, they got in trouble. So if we as a people don't speak out, you don't go to your agencies, your regional fair housing agency. We're a regional fair housing agency. So if something happens and somebody just blows you off or blows your complaint off, and you have a legitimate complaint, you need to at least have it looked into and investigated, because if it's found to be legitimate and you're in one of those protected classes, you get paid.
That's right.
You get and those protected classes are familial status, race, disability, age, gender, and also when you add the LGBTQ component, you can't discriminate against them either. So
That's right.
if you have those things going on and you've been discriminated, oh, and credit, if you have feel that you've been discriminated against based on any of those things, then you can have us look into it. Just to give you an example, if you know a person that's disabled and they're denied access into their building or into their home, or you're renting and they don't fix it, At that point, and you lodge a complaint, then you need to bring it to a fair housing agency. If you feel that you have been denied credit based on your color or based on your gender, and you see other folks, and it can be proven that that company did that, then you need to have it investigated. It doesn't cost you anything
Right.
to investigate it. So that's just an example. We can talk, probably talk more on that because, or have someone. You may want to have someone on the show that works in fair housing. I don't work in fair
Right.
housing, but
Mm-hmm.
you may want to have someone on the show to address some of those issues here. You know
Mm-hmm.
how to get in contact with us here on the fair housing side,
Right.
um,
Now,
Doc.
now,
So
now, one thing I just want to say about this agency, because that's what I'm talking about, South Suburban as an organization, they do outreach in the community on a regular basis. You know, they have fairs, outreach meetings where people can come out and learn, get information, and take information back where they can, you know, evaluate what was heard and know who to reach out and touch with. It was so funny. I went to one of their workshops at Governor State, and everybody in the building was telling me, "Oh, you need to talk to Mr. Robert Saunders." Mr. I said, "I
I
do."
don't know why they
Okay.
said that.
I think I got his number. I know how to get in touch with him. But they have so many different departments where they can help you in so many different ways, and that's the point that I'm making. Now I know you all have been overwhelmed going back around to this COVID program that's ending today, and you still got some hours, you know, maybe about 5 or 6 hours to get all your information together and give them a call and put an application in. But what happens tomorrow? Okay, they don't get their, you know, application in. What happens tomorrow? Well, I mean, you know, they sitting on the side of the bed like, "Dag, I missed the deadline."
That's what's going to happen. You're gonna be. Well, you know that song, "Sitting in the park, waiting for, waiting for you." That song.
Uh huh.
Yes, I'm sitting on the bench with my
Uh
back
huh.
against the fence, wondering if
Uh
I
huh.
got any sense. So you're gonna be like that. Ain't nothing happening.
Ain't
You
nothing
gotta work with
happening.
your lender. You have to work with
Yeah.
your lender. You're gonna have to contact us and see what we could do to help you by working with them. If you do that, if you go on there tonight and you get those documents that I line them up and scan them up, or take pictures of them and upload them through your phone or your tablet, uh, you're gonna be fine because you
Right.
got till you would have up between November 1st to November 30th to get in with a counselor. It don't have to be my agency, but any
Right.
housing counseling agency in Chicago and the South Suburbs. Now, it
Gotcha.
just so happened that if you're in the South Suburbs, we're one of the premier agencies that's in the South Suburbs. I don't even think it's that many agencies. Like one, two, there's about three or four that's available, but most people come here.
Right.
So just telling you, um, if you want, I can just go over that document again, where you need to go and go up, tell you the four main documents that you need to get so that you can be at least get your hat in the ring.
Right. Right. Now, what's the grant amount that they're offering?
Man, this is wild phone jumping off the hook. Why are you going to ask me that? And you know that when I say it, that the phone going to jump off the hook. It's $60,000
Okay. So if you
up
50,000 in
up
the hole,
to 60.
okay. So if you 50,000 in the hole, you can get some help.
Not only that, but they may even pay 3 months of your mortgage after you get the help.
Okay.
That's why the phone ringing off the hook. I turn my ringer down. That's why you don't hear it.
Yeah. Switching over to rental assistance, are there any rental assistance programs on the horizon? Because everybody don't own a house. You know.
The only rental assistance programs that you will be able uh, to get would be probably through CETA or
Okay.
through Catholic Charities. Those are the ones that I know that's out there. There are no rental programs that I know of that are coming through the state right now.
Gotcha.
They will be having um, money available for people who were affected by COVID to do home repairs. That's
Mm,
you. I know you heard about that. Matter of fact,
right.
you put me on it. You put me on to that. See, I told you, Dr. Ron gets stuff. He put me on it. He said, Robert, did you hear about this program? I said, no, man. So he emailed to me and I checked it out. I said, oh wow. And come to find out, listen, I come to find out that our agency had applied for that grant.
Okay.
So, but I didn't know until you told me. But they knew.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah. That's
director
a
knew.
different. Yeah, different department. Yeah. Yeah. But that's for home repairs. For actually, they had a disabled program early part of the year that they ran out of money so fast. Bam. And they were expecting an extension before the year, where they would do repairs on disabled people's home, but that didn't work because that ran out of money. But now the new program that's coming out in January, I'm hip to that one already. So I'm making my business to do searches on the state websites to keep up to date. So I said all that to say you all just can't sit back and not know what's going on. You got to do research. You got to dig into the files. You got to see what they're talking about because they count on you not knowing. Okay? Trust me, they do. If you are a homeowner, you need to know everything that you need to know about trying to stay in your home. So, look, we got about 10, 15 minutes left, man. I know we touched on a lot of stuff, but what can we touch on that will be applicable tomorrow going forward? 'Cause I keep saying tomorrow because I know folks gonna miss midnight. I already know.
So what can happen tomorrow, 9 o'clock
Yeah, what
a.m.
will be available tomorrow for help out of your office?
What you gonna need to do if you're trying to get help from our office, then you will need to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Out of our office, you're gonna need to go to South Suburban Housing Center .org. And when you go to South Suburban Housing Center.org, you will need to do an intake so that your situation can be properly assessed. I can't say, well, whatever the situation, because people have different situations. So that's what you would need to do at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning if your mortgage is behind or you feel that your mortgage is in imminent danger of default. Whatever your situation is, you want to do an intake so that you can be properly assessed. Get your documentation. Documentation is critical. It's crucial because documentation beats conversation. If your
Mm-hmm.
documentation is not there, the outcome won't be there. If you're in foreclosure and you're trying to address an attorney, address the judge is not going to want to know anything other than if you have the documentation. You have to present the documentation to the lender. You got to present documentation to us. Nothing can show your situation better than you being able to document it. If you're not able to document it, then what you doing? You trying to finesse on something. Y'all know what I mean when I say finesse.
if you have y'all brothers and sisters. You cannot finesse your house when you're trying to deal with these banks. You
Yeah.
trying to finesse a bank or you try to finesse a judge, you're gonna wind up getting finessed.
Right. That's true.
I hate to put it like that, but I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
Uh, be real with your situation. Be real with the folks. Don't try to skim and scam your way into something because it's not gonna work.
Right.
Most of them have already. The judges seen all of them, and the lenders, most of them. That's why they look at y'all bank statements. They look at y'all
Right.
bank statements to see where their money going. They look and
Yeah.
see where their money going. So
Yeah.
if that is if you got legitimate hardship, so
Right.
get your stuff into us. Um, give us a call. Pick up the phone 708-957-4674 um, to talk about your situation if you're doing this at 9 o'clock. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock and you wake up, miss it, and that's your next step.
Yeah. So I encourage people to, be proactive. Don't wait till it's too late, because there's nothing you can do after it's too late. When it's, you got to address the elephant in the room, as they say. Mr. Keisha said, "Thank you, Mr. Saunders, for informing our people. You are definitely a blessing."
Oh, and thank you. And I can already tell without meeting you, you a sweetheart. You are somebody that I think the people should know. She's been on your show before.
No, she won't come on the show, man. She's scared. Let me tell you about Takesha. Takesha is a school board member. She's a community activist in her community. She's a book author. I've been trying to get her on my show for any number of things that she does, and she keep telling me I'm busy. That's it.
Okay.
That's all. And I'm like, okay, well, whenever you're ready. She gave me a date one time. I thought she was gonna actually do it, but she didn't. She's like, oh, something came up. And I'm like, okay, no problem. But I don't press her, because I know she does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and she is a very busy person. So she's out there with the young people. I was teasing her earlier today. I said, it's snowing outside, so you're going to be out there shoveling snow for the kids to get out to school to the bus? She's that type of person.
Mm.
She will be out there trying to make sure them children is safe. So, okay, so you're going to get a day off after this program ends. I know you still got to work all the way up to the 31st, processing all those that get in by midnight. But you're going to get a day off?
Yeah.
You said, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one of them. You know, my birthday coming up, brother.
Okay. All right, you going to take a vacation this year?
Yep, I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to do something. I gotta regroup.
Okay.
Um, because it's a lot out there. I know how to get my time in. I'm a trooper, so I know how to. This is a lot of stress, but when you've been doing it for a while, you kind of know what you need to do to get your head back right, get everything straight. And
No,
I'm not just saying this by myself, as you well know. I've got uh, people that work with me and I work with that help us, even though they left me here by myself talking to you. They're all gone. So, hey, Ron, this is funny. You see, my window behind me. Think
right,
you've been in here before. You see my window that you told me right behind me.
right.
There are people, and don't y'all try this. Don't y'all try this. I got a golf club right here. But they knock on the window. If it's after hours, they'll peck on the window, man. If they
Trying
see
to
my
get your
light on.
attention. Yeah. Trying to get
Yeah.
your attention.
And
Yeah.
no, you ain't gonna get seen like that. But
Yeah.
you know, you gotta
Yeah.
leave and get get your downtime and get yourself fresh because this stuff here it'll get you if you're not
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah. Now, what you think people will be able to do now? Now, I know, I know to appeal my taxes no matter what they are. I know to do it just to do it. So, is that something that you would encourage people to try to do on their own, or to reach out to an agency like you?
If they need information, they can reach out to us. But what you have to remember when you're dealing with your appealing your taxes, it can work both ways.
Mm-hmm.
It can reduce your taxes, but it can also increase your taxes.
Yeah.
So what you do before you appeal them, number one, you check out and you see what everybody else is paying
Mm-hmm.
for their taxes and see what exemptions they have. There's a
Right.
way that you can do that by going on the Cook County tax portal
Right.
and putting your number or your PIN number in. You just hit Cook County tax portal on your search on your Google search, and then get
Right.
your PIN number, get your tax bill, or you can
Mm-hmm.
put your address or your neighbor's address. You can see what they're paying, see what
Right.
exemptions that they have before you go out to contest it. Know what you're doing.
Right.
Because if you got a senior living next to you, he's gonna pay less taxes than you. But you also
Absolutely.
gonna see he might have three exemptions.
Right.
Then get a realtor involved or go on Zillow or somewhere to see what your house is worth.
Right.
If it went down in value, then that's when you contest. That's a good time to contest your taxes.
Right.
So you have to do your homework. So the best way to do it, if you're not sure, then you can come in and talk with us.
Absolutely. Mr. Keisha said, "Happy birthday in advance." And then
Thank
she
you.
went.
Thank you.
Then she went on to say, "She not scared." Laugh out loud.
She not scared.
Yeah,
Well,
she ain't scared. Yeah.
I was about to
Well,
say, if you was, we'll share a show.
okay. There you go. There you go. Now look, we got about 3 minutes left. You don't always have two questions that I like to ask my guests. But before I ask those two questions, did we cover everything that we need to cover before you get out of here today? Did we cover enough?
Man, I think we covered plenty. There's always
Okay.
something that's left on the table, but I
Mm-hmm.
think we did the short space that we talked. We covered quite a bit. I didn't
Okay.
go into any workout options or any foreclosure timelines, anything like that. I don't think that would have been necessary. That might be something that might be an idea for another show, depending
Gotcha.
on what happens over the next few months.
Gotcha. All right. So now, first question: will you come back and see me again?
Man, I don't even want to. Yeah, of course I will. Let
All
me let
right.
me let me start answer that.
Yeah. Now, the next question is: what would you like to leave with the people before we end the show today?
What I like to leave with the people is first of all, love yourself, love love God, love yourself, and love each other.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Cannot argue with none of that. Yep, great stuff. Now, once again, you can send Robert an email, and you can also call him. He gave you a number. He gave you his number during the show. If you just tuning in, go back and watch the show. Then he gave his number a couple of times, so you can reach out to him and get some more personal, in-depth information that's specifically targeted for you. Okay, because he's excellent at what he does, and his organization as well. So you don't want to miss out having an opportunity to have an agency like this working with you and for you. Once again, my brother, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. You stay right there, and I'm going to end the show. I want to invite you guys to join me tomorrow on Wednesday at 12 noon on Street News Now for the noon report, where I talk a lot of politics and give you all my opinion on what's going on with this dysfunctional government. Also, you can join me each and every Saturday at 12 noon from the desk of Dr. Ron. That's where I give you what's on my heart, what's on my mind. That's a good place to find out what's going on with me. And I want to thank all those that have made donations and contributions up to this point in time. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys. These are all the ways you can make donations and contributions. Please continue to do so. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So I love you guys. You all be safe. It's wintertime in Chicago. It is snowing. So y'all be careful out there. And I look forward to seeing you guys on tomorrow. Peace, y'all.